AM 560, The Answer.
Squirrel, they still give the temperature in degrees in Chicago, or they give it in probable murders and shootings? Because when you guys are hotter than me down here, woo-wee, dangerous. The freaks come out all the time when it's hot out. What's the under-over for tonight? 18? All right, let's go with 18.
Relief is long overdue. And Chicagoans deserve an approach that puts people first and not profits. And that's why I'm incredibly...
Why, have you been doing profits this far? Great job, stupid. When you own property, you're supposed to have a bundle of rights that scumbag on-the-take thieves who don't pay for hairdos or water or suits, and their wives have ghost jobs so they can stoop their side broad in the wife's office. You're not supposed to allow them to set the tone of what you can do with your property. But in Shirakistan and New York, California, they're not to be outdone. They're going hardcore commie. Corey Woodlawn.
Sean, we should have left 2 years ago when you told us to, man. I mean, my God. I mean, this
I begged you. Put my arm around you. I said, you come with me. You come with me. I begged you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They got a national registry. You got to pay $75 a year for every unit you own. The violation is $1,000. So on top of the crippling taxes, we got to pay all these registration fees. I mean, and the problem is that who are you going to sell it to? You have to reduce the price to make the thing attractive.
Well, that's why I opened the show with, in Manhattan alone, 175,000 and change since Mamdani took office. It's never happened per unit in Manhattan. 112,000 in the Bronx. What do you think is going to happen when he did this? But let me understand what you just said. You're telling me that per unit, you now have to pay $75 a year for what?
Just to register. You have to register your building that you don't live in with the city registration. They're trying to track every unit in the building.
So if you got let's just do 10 flat, because we don't want to throw, if there's a Chicago public school student that can't change the channel, we'll really throw them into a tizzy. So if you have a 10 flat, that's $750 a year to register the 10 flat. You don't register the address, you register the units.
You register the units, yep.
Oh, brother. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Get out of here.
Have you figured out if a gangbanger can hijack your ownership the way they carjack people? Can you landlord jack?
So many people are trying to sell their property, so the MLS is full of people trying to get out. So you got to reduce your price to make it attractive.
All right, you just come down here. We'll start all over. You know how many guys I know start over? I was just on the phone with another guy. We start over. We're 60, 70. It doesn't matter. We're capitalists. We'll always end up better. All right?
Thanks, Sean.
Anytime you want, you come down here. Because we're one window closes, another one opens. That's only in the game of happenstance. When communists destroy the quality of life in Democrat ghettos, people flee to the states that thrive, like the ones that are represented by Americans, where they cut your taxes. They don't advance the strong arm, strong fist, iron claw of commies. And it's funny how they pretend that you're getting used to it. Here is a congressman that I have to say was very revealing what he had to say on the Sunday show. And I love it now that they got rid of Mike Wallace's untalented kid. What a moron he was. Remember, Squirrel, how every time the wife would make a cookbook, we had to celebrate the wife's cookbook? Shut up!
Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Jake Auchincloss. Welcome back to the show, sir.
That's fun to say.
It's always good to be with you.
What kind of name is Auchincloss? Is that Pennsylvania Dutch, Squirrel? I believe it is.
Okay, I want to talk about, this sweep of what happened in New York City. And one of the folks who may become your colleague, a Democratic House colleague for you, Daria Laza of Avila Chevalier. Senator Fetterman
also
talked about her and said this. She described America as a bleeping disgrace. She posted bleep Kamala Harris and posted that she forgot napkins, so she just wiped her hands on the American flag.
Now, what he goes on to say about socialism and communism is the tell. And it goes to show you how all of these things that you're brought to fear. You're afraid of expiring. You're afraid to lose it. This was the acorn of communism that grew into the tree that you're hanging from right now. And everything this Auchincloss, whatever, everything this idiot says is exactly what we need to attack post-haste with lawsuits in every court, because every example he gives is unconstitutional communism you just got used to.
I think there's two big themes at play here. First of all, Republicans, as you played earlier, have been calling Democrats socialists since the 1930s when FDR introduced Social Security. And now Social Security is the most popular program in America. So,
really? Is that true? I don't want it. You want it, Squirrel? I mean, first of all, it's never been there. It's a frickin' lie. Like every time Obama opens his frickin' mouth, or Joe Biden soils his trouser, or some other unknown, unnamed, fungible Democrat promises utopia. Doesn't exist. I don't want it. Give me my money back. You don't owe me nothing. Same thing with Medicare. I don't want any unemployment either. I don't want any of it. Now what? And that's how you break it, because all of it is communism. And Auchincloss, which is fun to say, goes on to prove it.
not a whole lot of credibility on their side as Democrats work to create a strong floor with no ceiling in American economic life. Number two,
they talk in these talking points. A strong floor with no ceiling. Where's the floor, stupid? In Chicago, commercial buildings sell at 94% less. In just the shortest amount of time in New York City, the real estate has collapsed per unit 107. So where's the floor? Auchenhaus, Klaus, whatever. Where's the floor? Commie bastard fraud. And you know where the floor is, Squirrel? The Soviet Union, right before the collapse. Havana, Cuba, when you're stripping down naked, greasing yourself up, ready to take to the ocean to swim 90 miles. That's the floor of communism, failure, and corruption. And that's what they're hoping for.
She wants to abolish the border, abolish prisons. That is a deeply disturbed individual. He says the party is becoming...
Wait, I hit the wrong clip. Here it is.
But you know they're calling themselves now. They're calling themselves socialists, and their definition of that is different. It's abolishing ICE. It's abolishing borders and prisons. I mean, that's their self-description, not a label that a Republican's putting on them.
And it's descriptions that I don't agree with, right? Democrats need to be surging resources, for example, to raise clearance rates for law enforcement as they're tackling murder and other capital offenses. We need strong border security measures.
Oh, see what they're doing? They're going to run him. They're going to run him as marrying communism and law enforcement. And you know why that works, Squirrel? Because in order to be a communist, it has to be enforced by law, like Obamacare. It has to be at the threat of law, like taxation, where you end up in jail, but cartel members don't. See, ultimately, there is no socialism that's benign. It's all fascism. There is no communism. It's all Nazism, which is why it's perfectly natural to pretend what we experienced during COVID was them looking out for you in altruistic utopia versus what it really is every time a Democrat opens their rat mouth.
Germany was having trouble, what a sad, sad story. Needed a new leader to restore its former glory. Where, oh, where was he? Where could that man be? We looked around and then we found the man for you and me. And now it's
springtime for Hitler and Germany. Deutschland is happy and gay. We're marching to a faster pace. Look out, here comes the master race.
You know, Hitler had a minimum wage, too, and it was about $23 less than Chris Murphy's. But they're both Nazis. 312-642-5600.
Marxists, socialists, and communists are not welcome on the Sean Thompson Show on AM 560. The Answer.